16, and I have had one of the greatest weekends of my freaking life. As you can see right there, money in the bank. And as you can see down there, you got Damian Priest about to do some sort of choke slam on our boy, LA Knight. Now, let me talk to you about this. Let me talk to you. I love LA Knight. Genuinely, like, the O2 was absolutely buzzing before any of the matches even started. Everyone was just hyped. It was class. Everyone was singing, chanting before anyone even came out. Any of the wrestlers came out. So we kicked Money in the Bank off for the men's Money in the Bank ladder match. Obviously, Damian Priest won it. Now, obviously, he's not technically a fan favourite, but as I said to the fan sitting next to me, I said, look, I'll compromise. At least Logan Paul didn't win. I don't care what people say. I didn't want Logan Paul winning, so I'm happy about that. What I will say is it was a very, very good match, and fair play to all the wrestlers involved. There were points in the match where it looked like it was going to go one way, then it went another. Butch jumping off the ladder and doing a somersault was crazy. Ricochet and Logan Paul. Now, they were supposed... I believe this is the biggest botch of the century. So they get pushed off the ladder, and the ropes are like here. They're supposed to go over the rope through the tables, because 2 tables were set up at ringside. Logan Paul gets his thigh caught on the rope. And in the end, Ricochet has to improvise and sort of does a tilt-the-world type, like, somersault thing to take him and Logan Paul into the tables. And I kid you not, I'm surprised no one got seriously hurt, because they missed the first table and went through the second. But Logan Paul sort of hit the corner of the second table. So yeah, anyways, Damian Priest won that match. He got booed. I mean, the reason he got booed isn't because people don't like the Judgment Day, isn't because people don't like him. I think it's more just the hype. Everyone really wanted LA Knight. If you spoke to any fan in that whole arena, minus maybe a few that may have wanted someone like Ricochet or someone to do it, but I guarantee they would have said LA Knight. He was clearly the fan favourite, and he didn't win it. So that was that. Next up, we had the women's tag team titles. Now, this match had everything in it. It had, well, rules being broken where Shayna Baszler and Ronda Rousey were both doing a move on, I think it was Liv, while Raquel was not down. And we were all just saying, VAR, VAR, VAR as a joke, but it literally went around the stadium. It was so close. I have to say this before I continue with my opinions and anything. I've got the stuff that I bought down here. I'll show you guys at the end. But I have to say this. Whether you like it or not, there is no crowd. I do not care. There is no crowd better than the UK crowd. Because at the end of the day, we're in for the moment. We will chant, we will cheer, we will sing songs, we will make stuff up. At one point, you had stand up. If you hate Roman, stand up. If you hate Roman, stand up. If you hate Roman, stand up. If you hate Roman. Now, that was hilarious, right? So, again, I'll talk about that a bit later on, but that was during the main event. Anyways, Roman Reigns then looked around, and he was just completely taken out off his game. He's like, whoa, these people really don't like me. He looked around. He looked at his wise man, Paul Heyman, and went, what do I do? So he was on the ring apron. It was Solo Sikoa in the ring. And Roman Reigns just sat down. And what did the UK fans do? What did we do at the O2? Instead of saying stand up, we said sit down. If you hate Roman, sit down. If you hate Roman, sit down. If you hate Roman, sit down. If you hate Roman. And only people standing were people that were just dickheads or people that genuinely like Roman Reigns. But that was crazy. Anyways, I will get more into that into the main event later on. So going back to this tag team match. You end up with Shayna Baszler turning on Ronda Rousey out of absolutely nowhere. Now, I believe it was so quick. It was difficult to see. But from having rewatched it and stuff, I think it's because Ronda tagged out as Shayna Baszler was going to go for the I don't know how you pronounce it, Kamakuna clutch. I think that's how you say it. Where she basically just grabs him and chokes him out. So Rousey tags herself in. Baszler sort of goes back to the ring and just goes, no. Liv's on the floor at this point. Like, she's done for. Raquel's been taken out. It's Liv versus them two. You think it's going to be 2-on-1 on Liv. Even Liv's like, shit, I'm screwed right now. I got no chance. Shayna Baszler just comes, pushes over Ronda Rousey, and just completely chokes her out. And then walks away. And Liv just looks at her like, what the hell just happened? Anyway, so Raquel and Liv both do their finishers, and they get the 1, 2, 3, and we've got new women's tag team champions. So obviously, Shayna Baszler and Ronda Rousey are gonna have a match at SummerSlam. Rumors are Ronda Rousey's leaving WWE, so we'll see what happens. You then have the Intercontinental Championship. Now this had an interesting end. I'm not talking about who appeared. I'm just talking about the whole match. So if you like foot fetishes, you would like this match. Gunther, right? Fair enough. He's a great wrestler. Riddle's going into this match with a taped up ankle because of what they did on Raw. Anyways, long story cut short. He attacks the ankle as you would, it's a bullseye. Of course you're going to do it. So he does leg drops and anything he can. Ankle locks the lot to make Riddle tap. In the end, how this match concludes, genuinely one of the most strangest things. And like I say, if you've got a foot fetish, you'll enjoy it. He picks up Riddle's, he starts slapping it with his hand, and then locks in like this. I can only guess it was a leg lock type thing, and Riddle taps. And then Gunther's music plays. He picks up the IC title as he turns around. The craziest and biggest pop. Oh, mate, I went absolutely mental. I'm jumping up and down. As soon as I heard the ching, I was like, oh my God, McIntyre's here. Drew freaking McIntyre marches down to the ring. Takes one step towards Gunther. Gunther's like, yeah. As Gunther's going to go, he gets Glasgow kissed in the face. Falls down. And it's so nice of Drew McIntyre, right? So nice. He gives his opponents a 3-second warning before he hits the Claymore. So, of course, we get him in the corner, go 3, 2, 1. He sprints. He hits the Claymore. And then he turns his back to the crowd. So you can see his back. The title's on the floor. At this point, I'm looking up at the title because I couldn't see. Everyone was stood up in front of me, so I couldn't actually see. So I'm looking up on the screen above me. Anyway, so he's turned around. He's got his back to the crowd where I was, and obviously facing the other side. He does a sort of wiggle. He picks up the title slowly, and we're all like, whoa. As soon as he raises it off, the whole roof just goes, way! And then we just start chanting, oh, Drew McIntyre. Oh, Drew McIntyre. Oh, Drew McIntyre. In the bottom corner down there. Yeah, boy, you can't see me, John freaking Cena. So basically, it just goes silent after Drew McIntyre leaves the ring. And we're like, okay. There was a promo on the screen. I don't know if it showed for on the network or whatever, but there was a promo. And then it just went all quiet and sort of darkened. And I'm looking at the other fans. I'm like, okay, what's going on here? 3 seconds later, dun, 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 Yabba! And I was like, nah, bruh. Cena stands up on the ramp, holds up the never give up shirt thing he has, sprints so quickly. I'm trying to film it. He literally sprinted really quickly, got into the ring, picks up the microphone, and we're all like, he's like, generally, he gives one of the best promos I've ever seen. So basically, long story cut short, he picks up the microphone, and he says, surprise! And he says, if anything, I'm the one that should be surprised. Normally I get, let's go Cena, sus. But not you guys. You guys are all like, my time is now. You can't see me. My time is now. It's like you guys singing on to my theme tune. Anyways, he goes, I'm not out here for a match. And we're like, boo, one more match, as you do. He goes, the reason I'm out here is because those people in the back that made those decisions, they don't think that this crowd's good enough. And I'm here to show them that that's not true. And then he goes, what about UK WrestleMania? And that's when we all go, we want Mania. We want Mania. And then that goes on for a little bit. And then Grayson Waller comes out. And I kid you not, mate, if I was him, I would have been like, holy shit, this crowd does not like me. I need to get the fuck back to that locker room. He comes out and he's like, oh, Cena, you're my biggest fan, blah, blah, blah. I've seen your movies. Oh, I'm tearing up and all this bullshit. And he's like, but I have to stop you there. You're lying to these people. WrestleMania in England? I mean, these past 2 days I've had to wear a coat. It's been cold. It's supposed to be July. And I was like, oh my God. Anyways, so they have that. And he goes, I'll tell you what. Forget England. We need to go somewhere hot. Somewhere better. WrestleMania, Australia. Grayson Waller effect with his guest, John Cena. And Cena literally picks up the mic and goes, no. And Grayson Waller goes, no one says no to the Grayson Waller effect. And Cena goes, excuse me? Nobody says no to the Grayson Waller effect. He picks up the microphone and he goes, now before you came down here, I was spending some time with my friends and we were talking about Mania coming to London. And we all go, hey. Obviously Cena turns his back, bosh, cheap shot. Waller takes off his shirt, does some like lunges and like, I don't know what you call them. I don't know. I don't know. But basically just like goes down on one knee, goes up and does that. At this point, Cena just gets up, picks him up. Hey. Cena's music hits and we just went mental. Absolutely freaking mental. Anyways, that is that for surprises and returns. But that was class. And then we fast forward and we get the women's Money in the Bank. Now this was one of the greatest matches. I've had people ask me, what match did you like? Which do you rate highest? Now, bear in mind that the Bloodline Civil War, their story, that chapter, whatever you want to call it, came to an end on that night in Money in the Bank. But this women's Money in the Bank ladder match was freaking insane. From the get-go, from the minute the bell rung to the minute that someone won. It was utterly incredible. The crowd was brilliant. Obviously, if you guys haven't seen a UK crowd, Bailey's in the match, so of course it's hey, hey, Bailey, woo, I wanna know if you be my girl. And that just got sung around the whole thing, and that was just crazy. And then it's E-yo, 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 E-yo. And as soon as Becky's, that was just for the entrances, by the way. As soon as Becky Lynch's music hit, it was like, whoa. And I was like, oh my God, like. And then Trish and Zoe Stark run up to Becky Lynch and wipe her out. And I'm like, where's Becky? Because the ramp, I can't see it. It's out of my field of view. I could see the ring, but I couldn't see the ramp. So anything happening on the ramp area, I couldn't see. That's why we had a screen like literally about 10 feet above my head. And I just constantly looked. I was like, oh, there they are. That's where so-and-so's gone. Anyways, this match had it all. Somersaults off the top of ladders, handcuffs, double teams, backstabbing. Like, oh, it had it all. It was such a crazy match. I didn't know who was going to win it. I'm happy with who won it. Of course, one member of Damage Control won it. And that was E-yo, E-yo, E-yo. But how did she win it? Well, Trish and Zoe Stark bring handcuffs into the ring, I guess. Or like the match. And they handcuff Becky Lynch. Now she fights off, so it's one handcuff and the other one just dangling. Anyways, fast forward to near the end of the match, when Bayley's climbing, Becky's climbing. You got Io Sky at the bottom of the ladder, Bayley on this side, Becky on this side, and they're climbing up. As Bayley pulls Becky's arm, which is like the other handcuff, through the ladder, she pulls Bayley's hand and puts the free handcuff onto Bayley, so they both can't climb. And Io just climbs above Bayley, says thank you very much, and picks up the Money in the Bank briefcase. Best match. And then obviously we had to wait at least 2 minutes for the referees to unhandcuff him. Probably won't be seen on anywhere live, but in the arena, that's what we saw. And then we move on to the Pierre de Resistance, the main event, the thing that I want to say. I've left out one particular match, and I left it out because personally I don't feel like it was a pay-per-view worthy match, and that's obviously Cody Rhodes, Dominic Mysterio, because if I'm being honest, it was over before it began. Cody Rhodes won. The biggest thing I'd say is that the whole stadium, well, I can only assume it was the whole stadium, but yeah, like the whole arena, whatever you want to call it, was all singing Cody Rhodes' theme tune. And it wasn't just the whoa, like that bit. It was generally from start to finish, we were singing it. Or I was anyway. I know there's a few TikToks and stuff that say, oh, people are bullshitting. Look, that the camera showed that guy not singing. Just because one guy in the crowd didn't sing, don't mean we weren't all singing. But you know what I mean? Anyway, so yeah, I've left out that match. Basically, if you haven't seen it, it's just Dominic Mysterio being an absolute pussy. We start chanting, Dom is a pussy. Dom is a pussy. So yeah, this match was somewhere on the card. I don't even remember when it was, to be honest, because it was that bad. I feel sorry for Cody Rhodes because it was like, it should have been a good match, but it really wasn't. Dom just tried escaping through the crowd, tried running up the ring ramp, just tried everything to get away. Cody hits the Cody Cutter and then hits the Crossroads and gets 1, 2, 3. So yeah, that's why we don't really talk about it. But I tell you what, the pop that Cody Rhodes got, he came out with the smoke and stuff. He came to the ramp. Soon as the whole crowd was singing his song, he took 3 steps back and was like, holy shit, dude. This crowd is the best. Anyway, so that happened. Yeah, so that, just thought I'd add a disclaimer that I did miss that match, and I do apologise, but I wasn't going to even talk about it, but there we go. Anyways, get on to the Bloodline Civil War. Whoa! Let me be honest with you. Right. First 2 to 3 minutes, it was slow, it was terrible. Up until the referee gets knocked down and it all kicks off. You got Solo that tries to put Jimmy through a table and completely misses, and then he goes through the announce table. You got a double team on Roman Reigns. I mean, the Usos hit the 1D, aka the one and done, and we counted to about 11, I think it was, before we gave up. So that happened. Obviously, the referee was taken out, so he wasn't there, but we counted to 11. At which point we went VAR, just because, you know, we're a UK crowd. Yeah, so that happened as well. But yeah, I'd say overall, it was a really good pay-per-view. Roman Reigns getting pinned is huge for the storyline. It's huge for everything. 3 years since he last got pinned. Well, he's been pinned now, so that's over. Anyways, guys, that's my review of Money in the Bank. It was an absolute pleasure to see it live, to be there in person in the arena. And I could not say anything bad. Like I say, a couple of things a little bit like, yeah. But, you know, in terms of the atmosphere, in terms of having a great time, just in terms of everything, it's off the chart for me. It gets a 10 out of 10 from me, and that is amazing. It's the first time I'm reviewing a pay-per-view, but it's the first time I've ever been to one. So this is a bit of an interesting video. It might be a long one. But, yeah, so I'm going to give it 10 out of 10. So, fair play. Thanks for entertaining us, WWE. John Cena returning, giving us a promo about WrestleMania. I hope that does happen. Drew McIntyre returning. Brilliant. Right, so just to show you what I bought then. I have got the Money in the Bank And on there, if it focuses, it says London 2023. So there's that. Okay. So we got the women's and men's Money in the Bank. And on the back, it says, I was there, London, England 2023. T-shirt number 1. Anyone's a Seth Rollins fan? I bought a Seth Rollins t-shirt. There it is. Again, London, Money in the Bank, England. On the back, again, the men and women's Money in the Bank, London, England. I was there 1st of July 2023. So, obviously, if you weren't there, you can't get that. And this, my favourite t-shirt. So, if you like football kits, this is kind of like a football kit, but in America, I guess they call them a jersey because they were selling it as a jersey. But yeah, Money in the Bank. Got the England flag right there. WWE, Money in the Bank. And on the back, just like when you wear a football shirt, it says London 23. And it's got England. It's one of the best shirts. And then the final thing I bought, before I show you the big thing, was an official WWE program. So it's just, pictures of wrestlers. But I always buy a program whenever I go to them. Even when I go to the house shows, I buy a program. But what you really want to see, guys, is this bad boy. Money in the Bank. I was there, London 2023. It is the Money in the Bank briefcase. I bought one. I wanted one. I've got one. There we go. So yeah, guys, as I say, the whole thing, going to London, going to the event, going to the SmackDown on the Friday, to go into the pay-per-view on the Saturday, was amazing. I didn't mention it because it wasn't part of it, but I went to the Undertaker's One Dead Man show, and I have to say, if you are anywhere where that is available, get a ticket, go to it. It's incredible. Obviously, I didn't even speak about this. Money in the Bank hat. Money in the Bank. So I bought that as well. Yeah, the Undertaker show was amazing. If you guys know the Undertaker, then it was well worth it. He spoke about, he's told you untold stories. Told us about his career, where it all started, how he feels, stuff like that. It was just the best, 2-3 hours, however long it was. I was just engrossed listening to every word he said. It was amazing. Anyways, guys, I'll wrap up the video because it's about 25 minutes. But I just wanted to give you a little insight into me, my opinions, the pay-per-view, and just show you what I bought and stuff. So, yeah, guys, bit of a different one. If you did enjoy it, please like, comment, and subscribe. And I'll see you next time. Take care, guys.